Hey Pisces, welcome to High Priestess Healing Tarot, where you are the High Priestess, babe. Happy Neptune is direct day. Thank God. So if you felt a shift, if you felt a heaviness lift, if you felt some clarity come in, that is all Neptune, babe. Let's see what messages Spirit has for you today. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Ancestors, Archangel Michael. Please help me in pulling insights for the High Priestess Collective, highest timelines, highest messages for the High Priestess Collective. I'm going to pull one more. Rabbit and Fox. That's a story. A gift. Oh, this is my favorite card in this deck. The Seer. God damn, High Priestess. This is the High Priestess card. You are a seer. Look at these snakes wrapped around her neck. She even has a third eye in the center of this crown. These horned, this horned crown. Oof, Rabbit and Fox, the gift, the seer. This feels like this Neptune going direct energy is peeling a layer back over the third eye. You've always been a seer. You've always sensed. But what's happening right now is you're about to see more. This is like definitely get ready. But like, if you remember the first time you recognize like, oh, I'm actually seeing things more clearly now. I'm sensing energy more clearly. I'm sensing intention more clearly. Those like first few awakenings, wherever you are on the journey, that is essentially like what's happening now is like, okay, this is next level now. Something happened here though. Rabbit and Fox. Rabbit and Fox is a story about sacrifice. I forget exactly which one sacrificed what, but I believe it's a story about sacrifice. The gift is essentially what you have, the seer energy. Oh, these cards are so dreamy. All right, let's get into the details and see what this is for you. If you haven't dropped it already, I am the High Priestess. I'm a seer. I trust what my third eye sees. The snake imagery I'm going to start with that card. The snake imagery wrapped around the neck is interesting to me because it's like, that might mean that the shedding, moving from constriction, right? They're operating kind of like boa constrictors. Squeezing, if you don't know what I'm saying. Constriction around the neck. I kind of want to say constriction around the neck so that you could pay attention to what you're seeing. So they may have had you hold off on saying something so you could see something fully. I have a feeling that's going to also change. So you'll see fully, and then when that release of the neck takes place, that's where the shedding is going to occur. And a shift in what it is that you're saying. Show me the seer. All the gold in this card represents enlightenment. Gold in tarot, gold in oracle cards represents enlightenment. I'm not taking these. Too many. Oh my God, what's going on? It feels like there was like a major undercurrent of a lesson. Okay, focus. Show me the seer. Wow, sun. Sun is light, so it's like I can see very clear. There's no shadows. It's high noon, so there's no shadows. Ooh, the Justice came out in the pre-shuffle in this deck, though, which is called the Scales. This may be a karmic reward or like a reward or a result of some sort of sacrifice you offered. Sacrifice can be people, places, things that you love, or it's like a, sometimes we sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gain, which I can't exactly remember the story, the rabbit and the fox. So I'm going to encourage you to look that up. But there is some sort of like sacrifice and then like a forever theme because of a sacrifice. Okay. The Sun, Justice, Six of Pentacles, that's double scales. So if you have, I know it's not a lot of people, but if you have double Libra in your big placements, this one's extra for you. There's something there was something about constriction so that you could see. This could even be like, I could be using the word contraction, where it's like things get pulled back before an expansion. Justice and Six of Pentacles is like, when I see the Justice card, to me, it's like karmic law, karmic seeing, karmic. It's very ma'at, you know, Egyptian mythology. It's like people can do and say and weave whatever stories they want. But the reality is like the vibrations of intention and the vibrations of what occurs when no one's looking, that's actually truth. And just because people can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And the all-seeing sees it, which omniscience is really like the universe, God, source. This feels like justice as a spirit guide around intentions, vibration, and truth and what is right, constricting you or holding you in place in some kind of way so that you could not speak but see. And then Six of Pentacles is a free will card so that you could respond to, kind of want to say, what was out of balance with a more balanced offering. This is kind of like Spirit showing you like, this or these things or people or situations, not right. And I'm going to send you in, Six of Pentacles, as my like footman. I'm going to send you in to maybe right these wrongs or to serve in a way that honors the balance of karmic law, karmic order. This feels like a high honor. This does not feel like punishment or... This feels like a high honor. Because it's like the head honchos are showing you something that needed to be seen so that balance could be brought to that situation. Can you show me this balance brought to the situation? Eight of Arrows. Look, it's another offer here. It's also like this is a leader in the community offering their bow and arrow to the student. That's like exactly what this is. What is the constriction? It's like they constricted you or contracted you or held you in place. It feels like with words, maybe it was writing, so that you could see, and then after you see, they let you go. Like, hey, now you take this tool. Now you are the hunter. Now you are equipped. And eights are about cycles. If you think about Eight of Cups, it's like the Eight of Cups is a great cycle card to think about. Does this serve me or not? Am I settling and repeating something, or do I want to go after something more for myself? Eight of Swords. Am I once again only seeing limitations, or am I going to allow myself to step outside of this blindfold, which is very temporary and it's not permanent? Eight of Arrows is an energy of kind of being released, but it's like being released because you're ready. It's like when the student becomes the teacher. It looks like there's support here, or there's like people that want you in that role, people that want you in this role, people who see potential for you here. Now I'm like, am I talking about work? Show me that Six of Pentacles, Eight of Arrows. It also feels like you've seen enough and you're like ready to go out into, maybe this isn't a one-time thing. Maybe this is a longer term. Six of Pentacles, restoring balance to people who are open and ready to receive guidance, wisdom, resource. Teaching. Teaching Lodge of the Arrows. This is when the student becomes the teacher. For real. Okay, Teaching Lodge of the Arrows, and then Totem of Stones. Snake. The crawlers. What's going on with the snake? Isn't this card kind of crazy? I just got lost in the art. Sorry. Let's do this one at a time. Okay. Teaching Lodge of the Arrows. This was your teacher, you see? And this may be spiritual. This might be a real person. I'm not positive. This was your teacher. You were constricted, put in place so you could see something. Maybe when I'm saying seeing, maybe it means learning. This person is now bestowing the gift or the tool or the resource to you. That means you're ready to go. That also means you're ready to teach to others who are ready and willing, open, like we saw in that Six of Pentacles energy. And all of this teaching, learning, and growing willingness, it is for movement forward. See how the arrows are, they're in the air. They're moving towards the right, like off the card. So this is all about movement, growth, progress, expansion. Okay, and the other card that came out is the Totem of Stones. Okay, stones is pentacles. I'm going to ask about the snake because now we have it out here twice. Can you show me the snake energy? The moon. The lover, so unseen. The lovers. Unseen choice, unseen contract, unseen union. Okay, it is something about union. There's snakes here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 snakes on the table. 5 is change. You know that expression of like the tallest trees reach the heavens because their roots reach down to hell? This totem of stones feels like it's underground, right? You see the roots here? It's underground. This feels like a rise from your constriction underground. Maybe you've been in a foundational building stage. Maybe you've been in a hermit healing stage. That from underground chapter era period, it looks like you have successfully closed out or achieved what was necessary here. That would make sense if, oh, this is also a snake. Do you see? That's a snake head, the Ouroboros. So it feels like this year was an energy of like, I need you underground. I need you constricted. I need you contained so that you can see as much as possible. Again, seeing might actually be absorbing or learning. And this moon, lovers, 2 of Cups as it pertains to the snake. It's in the darkness or mystery unknown. Union, coming together. They needed you to see something come together in that constraint, in that container. What is coming together here? Or what was seen? Two of Swords. Funny, because they can't see. And the Queen of Swords. This looks like an aspect of self coming to... This is twofold. Aspect of self coming together. That's... I'm going to use the word ruthless. It's a little bit more ruthless, Pisces. Not in a cruel way. Ruthless in a foundational... This is how things are preserved. This is how we make shit happen way. Ruthless in a negotiating way. Ruthless in a boundary setting way. Ruthless in an enforcing boundaries way. Ruthless in these are my standards for myself and others that I care about way. Kind of feels like maybe you didn't see all the foundational shifting underground, tectonic plates shifting underground that have been taking place in this containment, this restriction, this container that you're in. They just wanted you repeating that practice, practicing that transformation. This kind of makes sense if we think like this year's a lot of shedding. Saturn last year was like dragging Pisces, right? Saturn is all about boundaries. So if you've been in this can't fully see, but I am actively rising. It's so interesting. I can't fully see. I also feel constrained and I'm also rising. So if you're in like this, that strange paradox, this is Spirit saying like, we needed you here so you could start to feel and witness these parts of the self coming together, because when you are released into the light and the gift is seen by you, but really also by others here, there's a protection around it. Heavy emphasis on protection here, where it's like a couple of things. Even the artwork shows a maturation of the feminine, where this is the fiercest depiction, and this may be like the most childlike, whimsical, softest, innocent, pure. There's nothing wrong with that. However, this maturation of the spirit, this maturation of the gift, has to have this protecting that. So we have to come into this like fiercer, stronger, bolder version of this like beautiful whimsy, this beautiful childlike energy that you have, so that that aspect of self is not taken advantage of. And maybe so that like snakes that are venomous don't fuck you up. I am going to have to talk about venomous snakes for a minute, because it's not all just like shedding garden snakes where we're just all vibing. I'm going to get a different deck for that though. Show me the venomous snakes that I'm talking about. See? Motherfucker. King of Swords in reverse. One more. Venomous. Ooh, and the Lover's reverse at the bottom. Page of Wands in reverse. Are all of these? Looks like my deck is upside down. That, I'm just going to interpret that how it is, because it just is what it is. Not everyone, hold on. Not everyone that says they are the same as you, not everyone that appears to be the same as you is actually offering the gift that you have, or is actually offering the teaching that you need, or is actually offering the same service that you provide. Seven of Pentacles. King of Swords in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse. This is like lessons around people that do not follow through with word. King of Swords in reverse can be, it's a manipulation with word, because there's fire and air here. That's combustion. I'm thinking like that orange explosion emoji. King of Swords, Page of Wands. People that use their word to cast illusion. I love this veil that the Seven of Pentacles feminine is wearing here. But because we're talking about venomous snakes, it actually makes me think of like a veil over the eyes, which is like what has been removed. I don't know if this is one person or like a personality type, you know. But the lessons around patterns over promises, behavior over words. People's behavior speak louder than their words. A King of Swords in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse is, I'm actually using my words to cast an illusion, maybe even over myself. You know, sometimes these people are eating the bullshit that they spew. You know, they like believe the bullshit that they spew. Or it's people who don't operate in the same level of integrity. Swords is integrity. Two of Swords, Queen of Swords is like, I might not be able to see the power of my upright sword, which is what we see in the Justice card, but I am choosing this time and time again, one foot in front of the other. Boundaries, integrity, higher level choices. Part of me thinks that like in this containment stage, you were in some sort of contractual something with a person that was not operating at the highest level of the sword that you have been practicing. And for some reason that had to be, maybe that had to be seen, because there is sometimes, I was just talking about this yesterday to somebody, sometimes if you are operating in honesty and joy and truth, sometimes we project that onto others. just like we can project our insecurities onto others or like our fears, you can also project your goodness onto others. I'm saying you, like the general you, you know? And that might have been a lesson that some of us had to move through. It's like, oh, I'm actually projecting a lot of my purity here, a lot of my gift. I'm projecting this out. And Spirit might have put you in a little, like, let me wrap this snake around their throat. Like, let me hold you here for a minute. Say less. And like the saying less might have been like, project less and see more. And as uncomfortable and painful as that can be, although I'm not seeing pain here, though, to be honest with you, I'm seeing, this feels very neutral, to be honest. But I'm sure there was likely emotion at some point. But that, like, let me neutralize you so that you're actually just seeing data. Seems pivotal because the work over here is service. The work over here is the student becomes the teacher. The work over here is progress. So they may have had to show you a person or maybe a personality type so that you are more boundaried with your projection of your good spirit. Can you show me anything else on this? Ooh, persuasive. You have the power of making people give to you and build deep connections, making it easy to get what it is that you wish. So this feels like again, that like pure vibration that may be magnetic. And others who you might, please don't take it if it doesn't resonate, but like if you have projected your pure intent and vibration out onto others, they may have felt that, or even like the thing is, believe that, because if they're casting illusions in self, they're also going to believe the illusions that you cast that they want to believe. So this is like when people hang out with you, and because they might think of you as a good person and you let them hang out with you, they're like, well, I can't be that bad because they're letting me hang out with me. They're letting me hang out with them. There's this like character by association, but that's not how character works, is the thing, you know? I think there's like something here about that. And there may have been a recognition of your gift, your light, your sacrifice, like this. There's a pure energy here that's very appealing, alluring even. So there's benefit for people who maybe don't have that gift to be around you, you know? Here, persuasive feels a little bit like the casting of spells, but I don't mean like intentionally. I just mean like, you ever enter someone's aura and you're like, oh, I am feeling like I'm buzzed up from this, or like, oh, I'm like a little drunk on this person's vibe. I know we've experienced the opposite, but it's like that positive feeling may have been why this person or type of person was in your orbit, especially if there was not yet boundaried, or like, oh my God, a bird just almost flew into the window. I swear to God, I thought there was going to be a thump. If you had not boundaried up your energy, there may have been some sort of repeat here. The Lovers it's weird that the whole deck is in reverse. I usually pay attention to that. The Lovers in reverse is even like a disconnect. It seems like this person's not around anymore. Contract or lover partnership of some kind. Page of Wands in reverse is also a bit of any page in reverse is an immaturity. I don't know that I want to go there. That's a spiritual immaturity. So that would be like somebody that speaks on spiritual matters but does not embody them through behavior and consistency and commitment or devotion. Like wearing the costume but not walking the walk. Can you just show me one on that sacrifice? The dead. Ooh. You can communicate with the dead. It could be in the form of inner sensing, seeing, or hearing. Feels like you've always had this like extra sense, this extra ability, and other people felt, saw, witnessed, believed that. So you might have appeared to be some sort of like, I don't know if meal ticket is the right word. But some sort of like, even like a bouncer for the veil. Which actually that is the high priestess. She is the bouncer of the veil. But she's the bouncer of the veil because she's like, she paid the fee to get in. And like she's done the footwork. There's something here about footwork, henchmen, and like you serving the divine. And like people who have not, are not going to like, if they're not going to be able to go as deep as you. And that also means they're not going to be able to go as high as you. You know. They needed you to see that. And is there anything else in this containment? Ooh, Ace of Wands. Ten of Swords. Page of Cups. Damn. In the containment, Ace of Wands, Ten of Swords, it's the recognition of, in this restriction or in this container, I've actually been able to receive the baton from the divine that affirms to me the end is over. The hard part is over. The lesson I needed to learn was over. Like I've acquired all of the swords, which is I've acquired all of the knowledge at this point. A 10 is a completion. That part is over. Page of Cups is the new beginning. But this Page of Cups, new beginning, that is you, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It's starting over with hope, or it's coming up out of the container with hope. It's not without boundaries around that hope, that whimsy, that like childlike spirit, or could also be this beginning stage of implementing this next octave of seeing, this next octave of sensing and intuition. Show me the next, this next octave. Foofy, Power Lodge of the Pipes. Okay, pipes is, that's singing, babe. That's speaking. It's like the throat's opening now. And where you were contained underground, you were contained in this like restriction, right? So that you could see all the creepy crawlies, the good ones and the venomous ones underground. This containment is opened now. The throat is open now. They want you to speak it. They want you to cast it. They want you to say it. They want you to offer it. This is also like sending out the vibration of your throat, of your voice, is essentially what's going to impact others the way that they need. There's something about the vibration of your words based off of what you're seeing that serves as medicine. For both for you and others. I meant for others though, but it will also be medicinal for you. Power Lodge is like, oh, this is, to go from teaching lodge, this is where like the learning happens. The Power Lodge is where the doing fucking happens. This is where the impact fucking happens. This is where the service and the change in the collective, the change in the environment, the change in the vibration. This is where this happens. Again, this is like, you are ready. Or they're saying, get ready. Give me one on that Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. That's like, could be financial abundance, creativity, medicine work. Seven of Arrows. Oh, it's a coming together of leaders here with the intention of collective liberation, collective healing, collective ideas, collective creation. Seven is also a reflection, reflecting on, you might be like coming into people who are also in this like contained state. Like people who are all starting to walk out at the same time, all starting to speak up at the same time, all starting to sing or see at the same time. Can you give me one more on the 7 arrows? I think that is it. 5 of bowls. This is technically the 5 of cups. And look, she's like walking out on this path. Ironically, this path is over water. So there's a little Christ consciousness nod here. Bring me back to earth with this. 9 of Pentacles. It's fruition. So if this is like work related, there's a lot of, they wanted you to see some shit before you said some shit. Even if this is family or just like people in general, they wanted you to see. It's like data collection era. So that now in this new transition of service, of leading, of empowering, you not only have the gift of seeing, and you've also boundaried your energy in a very higher level way. There's also resources that are going to be made available to you where you have enough for self and you have enough to give out. But there's this like recognition of maybe prior to these experiences, you may have given out excess without appropriate standards, regulations, or boundaries or requirements. Because of that, like, it's a very generous spirit. It's a very generous spirit over here. But this is spirit saying, like, not everyone should be getting what it is that you have. And we want you to be clear on, one, what it is that you are and have, and, like, what the requirements or standards should be for you to give that out. But they, like, want you set up too. They want you set up too. So you might, some of you might have had to learn to like not give if you don't have. And that might be like money, that might be time, that might be your energy. Yeah, the world. Anything else on this 9 of Pentacles? She's holding carrots. Carrots are associated with seeing. It's eye health. So this is a translation of your spiritual seeing was always there, and maybe you had to learn how to speak the language of the spiritual seeing. That is Neptune. And now it's like materialized and grounded in your 3D. So like where you could see spiritually, but maybe not make out the messages or not fully understand what it is that you are sensing. This is you coming into a grounded stage of being able to apply that vision to the material world, to people, to financial moves, to career, to your job, to your body, relationships. It's almost like, wow, this card's like really going off for me. See how the tomatoes are growing up the wooden staffs in the garden? If your seeing ability, your spiritual sensing is a tomato vine, Spirit wanted you to build something that the seeing could grow up. You know, it's like providing structure for the tomatoes to grow up. And the further up you go, the more you can see and the closer to the sun you are. So there's something here about like grounding the seeing by building some sort of structure that it could wrap around, that it could grow around. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think of another way to say that. Giving it a place to go. So it's not so hodgepodge in the like, I got this download, I saw this thing, I got this sense, I got this nudge, but like, what the fuck does it all mean? Spirit's like saying, you know, we want you to, first we wanted you to see that you had it, and now we want you to give it somewhere to grow around so that it makes more sense and is more organized in a 3D way. That also eliminates risk of psychosis. Some people get stuck in the spiritual ethers and don't ever ground back down to earth, to living, to implementation, to integration. And this is like, they don't want that for you. It's like, no, we want you to come now use this gift here in practical ways versus like escapism and avoidance, you know? Okay, yeah, mastery of it. That's it. Smash the love button for that. Mastery of it. King of Cups. Here you are, Pisces. This looks like you're gonna if you don't already feel this way, things are going to like make a lot more sense, both in an intuitive and emotional sense and a material sense for you. This felt like a journey, but I like this. Any advice for Pisces here? Ooh, chess, not checkers, babe. No rushing. You'll know what moves to make when it's time to make the move. The universe, the light, will guide your moves here. This is an up-leveling. This is an ascension. This is a promotion. This is a next level. I so dig this. Foofy. Okay, Pisces. If you want a little Reiki love and healing, you can hold my hands. Take a gentle inhale through your nose. And a soft release out through the mouth. I'm sending you so much Reiki love and healing. And affirm it below if you haven't already. I am the seer, babe. Yes, you are. High Priestess. I'll see you later.